Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, this week we're going to talk about part 2 of my SFP actual interview, and this is the academic section. So personally, I found this more challenging at the time than the clinical section. The clinical section, there's like objectively right or wrong answer. The academic one is literally based on your interest and goals. And once again, you guys are going to hear my actual interview, and then you will hear me going through a breakdown and things I think I could have done better. Alrighty, let's get right back into the interview.
Right, Hafsa,
Yeah.
I'll just take you to the second section now, and it's going to be another 15 minutes.
All right.
So we're going to ask you to identify where your particular interests lie in the three areas of academia: medical education, leadership, and research. We want you to talk about why you wanted to apply for this specialized foundation program in a particular area of interest. We'll explore what you hope to achieve from this 2-year specialized foundation program and how this may help shape your future career. Okay?
Yep.
Right. So the first question would be, which particular area of academia are you interested in and why? And you can use an example to describe your strengths in the area you've chosen and explain how this makes you suited to your chosen career.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that. So I'm interested in pursuing research alongside medicine. The reason why I'm interested in that is because I just feel like research adds so much value to a medical career because it answers questions. And I think all of us as doctors, we become better when we perform research because you understand the topic and you invest time and energy into it. And the reason why I applied for the academic foundation program is because I have been performing some research. I've been involved in a case report in medical school, and at the moment I'm working on a literature review to do with exosomes and plastic surgery. And I feel like it's so time consuming that it would be so good if there's a block associated with it. And I'm not saying that I'm just gonna leave it aside. I'm gonna pursue it from F1. But I feel like if you have an entire block that's dedicated to research, it's easier to dedicate some more time and energy into it. And I think this will be a great foundation for me because as soon as I'm done with F1 and F2, it opens up more opportunities for me. So I could follow an academic fellowship pathway if I wanted to afterwards. In terms of strengths, I feel like because I've been involved in research before in undergrad, I pursued honours and I worked for an entire year where I had to write a thesis, I had to work in a lab. I feel like I understand what goes into it and I know how to manage my time, and that's one of the major issues that I envision that I will see in my F1 and F2 program. So in undergrad, I had to manage my time because I had 2 jobs. I was teaching at Deakin University in Australia, and I was also a Deakin University ambassador. And on top of that, I was volunteering with St. John's Ambulance. So I had to manage my time, and time was precious. And right now in medical school, it's been the same. I have to manage it with like going to the gym and like my personal life. So I feel like that's something that I'm good at. If I could pick one superpower, I would say I'm definitely organized. So that's something that I'm happy to bring with me to my training.
Right, thank you for that. So that's your strengths. I know you may have mentioned some part of this, but I'll still ask.
Okay.
So why do you specifically want to apply for this SFP? And what do you hope to achieve during the 2-year program?
So with the SFP specifically, I've noticed that Manchester and Northwest Deaneries, they've had some interesting programs to do with oral maxillofacial surgery, and that's one of my career interests. I want to pursue oral maxillofacial surgery or plastic surgery at the moment, and that's why I feel like it's suitable. I know that I'm going to get extra time for research, which will be really helpful to help me pursue plastic surgery in the future. And also, aside from that, I can apply for the academic fellowship in the future, and that would help me either pursue a PhD if that's something that if I feel like that aligns with me, I'm probably going to pursue a PhD in the future. But the point is, it will give me the opportunity to pursue that.
Okay. Right. So what do you want to be in 10 years' time, and how will an SFP help you to achieve this?
10 years is a long time, but I have thought about this. So ideally, I would love to be a plastic surgeon, and I would like to have many research projects that I could incorporate in my practice, or like incorporate in. I'm specifically interested in reconstruction and burns, so I know that if I pursue some research in that would be great. It would be something that we can incorporate in the future. So that's where I see myself in the next 10 years.
Okay, I'm just wondering if you can link it to how the SFP will help you to, because I assume that anybody can go into training and become a maxillofacial surgeon.
Yeah.
But how do you think the SFP will make a difference if you got the program? How will it make a difference to where you will be in 10 years' time compared to someone that did the regular foundation?
Yeah. With the SFP, I've got a block of 4 months where I can do research, and I'm going to have a supervisor as well who can help me with my research projects. So from F1, I can start looking into that. I can have a contact with my educational supervisor, speak to him about it, and I will have time to follow a research project and develop it even further. And that's something that I feel like in the normal in the normal foundation program, you don't get that much time. It'll be more clinical. And in this case, I will have more time dedicated for research.
Okay. And you may have mentioned it in the past, but just to emphasize that you are still able to, link it together. So what difference would that block you have, that ability to do this research now, what difference will it make in terms of your career in 10 years' time, in terms of where you want to be in 10 years' time, being able to have this block to do this research work? How will it shape your future in 10 years' time?
I know that from the research that I've made into the academic foundation program, that after the like AFP1, AFP2, you can pursue academic fellowship. So that's something that I have thought about before, because I do like research. So that's why I wanted to follow this. I was like, okay, like this. So it would look good. I'll have some like a research project which I can then use to apply for the academic fellowship program, and then hopefully I can pursue a PhD afterwards.
So that means in 10 years' time, you're hoping that you would have become a maxillofacial surgeon through the academic fellowship, and you would have had a PhD.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. And I mean, just because we've still got a couple of minutes left, just to tease out the most we can from that.
I appreciate that.
In terms of, it seems to be, this is where you want to be in 10 years' time. I'm just wondering how that impacts on you. Is it just personal choice, or is there any way you want to use it to give back to the society, to the community, to the NHS? Or?
Yeah, so when I was younger, and by younger I mean a few years ago, I read this article about this guy who went to the Amazon, and there were some kids with craniofacial defects, and he went there and he gave back to the community, and he helped them. And that was something that first sparked my interest in this career choice. And I feel like there's so much associated with it. There's so much in terms of surgery. There's so much that you can do with it. But also there's so many avenues that you can access. You can do reconstruction, you can do burns, and I feel like that's something. It's interesting, but it's also something that I can use to give back, because it's don't know how to describe it, but it was just really interesting when I saw that back in the day. And I thought, I mean, you can give back with whichever career choice you choose, but that was something that interested me. And I felt like that's something that I can use in the future. And I don't have all the answers for you right now, but I know that I do work hard, and I think I'll look into it a little bit more once I'm in the program. I can look into different avenues, I mean, when I was in undergrad, I was volunteering with St. John's Ambulance as well. So I think I will definitely look into this further once I'm in the program.
I think you've still got about 5 minutes for the interview, but I've exhausted all the questions now. So it's up to you. If you want to hang up, maybe something else may come to mind, or you want to sign off. Either way is fine by us. Okay,
so sorry, how much time do I have to go?
About 5 minutes. You have about 5 minutes left.
Okay. I'll just stay on just for a little bit longer. Because sometimes I get a bit nervous and I tend to talk a little bit too much. So I'll see if I've forgotten anything.
Okay.
Alrighty, so question 1. Which area of academia are you interested in and why? What I did well was I showed clear enthusiasm for research with real examples showing my past research experiences plus the honours year, and I highlighted personal strengths, so organisation, time management, showing genuine interest, which was great. What I could have done better was I thought the answer was long. I waffled so much in this part of the interview. It needed more structure. My research interests were not specific enough. So I didn't mention about the outcomes of the studies. I didn't mention the biomaterials, things like that. I didn't explicitly mention the skills that I gained, like critical appraisal, statistics, writing experience, and I could have linked why this makes me suited to surgery a little bit more clearly. So the model answer would be, my academic interest is in clinical translational research within reconstructive and plastic surgery. I enjoy research because it helps identify real clinical problems and develop evidence-based solutions that improves outcomes. Through my honours year and a literature review on exosomes in plastics, I gained skills in data handling, critical appraisal, and scientific communication. I'm systematic, organized, and enjoy long-term projects, qualities that make me well-suited to an academic surgical career. Some advice for yous: be specific on your academic niche, give 1 to 2 strong examples, state the skills that you gained, and link it to a future career. Some common mistakes would be vague interest, no evidence of any research involvement, and a weak link to a future career. Question 2, why SFP? What do you hope to achieve? What I did well was I had a clear understanding of the structure. I mentioned protected research time, I linked it to future training, and I mentioned mentorship. What I could have done better was I didn't list specific academic outputs. So outputs could be publications, presentations, a QI with a measurable change. I was repetitive because at the time, from memory, I didn't know where I was going with this. I was just waffling. I could be clearer, I could be punchier. I didn't emphasize any skills development like stats, teaching, communication. So a model answer would be, I'm applying for SFP because it provides protected time and mentorship to develop my academic skills. During AFP, I aim to complete a supervised project. I aim to publish and present at a national level. I want to gain critical appraisal and study design skills, build academic networks, and these outputs would prepare me for ASF training and beyond. So the advice would be explicit in your goals with specific deliverables, not the comment, I want to do research, which is too vague, and not linking things. The third question was about a 10-year career plan. What I did well was I had the clear aim of becoming a surgeon. I mentioned specific interests, reconstruction and burns, and I showed the academic intent. What could be improved was it needed more clarity on the academic and clinical integration, the impact on the healthcare system and patients, and I could have shown more awareness of the UK career structure with more confidence. So I did need more tightening. So the model answer would be, in 10 years, I hope to be a plastic surgeon, registrar/early consultant specializing in reconstruction and burns, combining clinical practice with academic research to improve reconstructive outcomes. So once again, common mistakes would be literally saying I'm not sure yet or listing multiple specialties. Question 4, how does SFP give advantage over a standard foundation program? What I did well was I acknowledged the protected time and the mentorship. I mentioned a pathway and I recognized early research involvement. What could be improved was I didn't explicitly say, this helps me progress faster than foundation program trainees, because I should have highlighted networking opportunities, and I could have emphasized developing transferable skills. So the model answer would be, SFP gives me protected research time and supervision upfront to complete high quality outputs, publications, presentations, QIs that strengthen my application. Early embedded mentorship plus delivery experience gives me a head start compared to standard foundation program trainees. And the common mistake is not showing concrete advantages. The 5th question was based on my responses. So plastics plus PhD. What I did well was I was clear and confident. I could have added if there was the right project and mentorship alignment, which sounds a little bit more humble and realistic, I could benefit more. And then the 6th question was benefit to NHS, society, community. What I did well was I had a genuine humanitarian motivation and a strong emotional driver. But what could have been improved was the story was long, it was like loosely connected, and I didn't explicitly mention the link. So the model answer would have been academic work in reconstruction can reduce complications, hospital stay, revision operations, and improve patient function. This directly benefits patients plus NHS capacity. Long term, I'd also like to contribute via outreach in craniofacial reconstruction. And I made the common mistake of a long story without the relevance or the link back. So to summarize, 5 common AFP interview mistakes. Number 1 is waffling with no structured answers. Number 2 is the vague academic intentions. Number 3 is the no clear outputs of publications, posters, or quality improvement projects. Number 4 is a weak link to future career. And number 5 is not mentioning an NHS benefit. So just wanted to mention that the video before this was the AFP clinical station. It is great to review that as well. I wanted to mention the common mistakes because I didn't mention it in the prior video. So number 1 was no ABCDE link. So many candidates panic and they tend to leap to CT scans, pancreatitis, or like the diagnosis. So you want to stabilize the patient. Always remember the senior escalation. It's never the wrong answer. Number 3 is a poor prioritizing of investigations. Basic way to remember this is going from least invasive to most invasive. So like a physical exam and then bloods and then imaging in order of cheapest to most expensive or least invasive to most invasive, and also justification of why you want to do this. Number 4 is no initial resuscitation. You want to make sure that your patient is stable. You can't take them to a CT scanner if they're not stable. It's crazy to jump to surgery if you don't know if they have a surgical problem or not. Number 5 is ignoring differentials. It is difficult and foolish to go down one pathway and not looking at any alternatives that could be more likely. Number 6 is not linking abnormal bloods to physiology. And number 7 is weak handover language. So hope my interview helped you guys. I hope you learnt the structure. I hope you do heaps better than me and achieve your goals. Stay tuned. Next video would be the situational judgment for international grads. We used to do it back in the day, and there are more things up my sleeve for you guys to benefit from. So stay tuned and comment below. Let me know if there's anything else you may need or what your opinion was on my interview. Have a good one.
Okay, I can't think of anything else. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to log off, if that's okay.
All right, no worries. Thank you. Good
Bye, have a good one.
Thank you.